Crystal, we're at the end of the regular season for softball, heading into the conference tournament. Let's look back at this year. Every season has its ups and downs, but this season really feels like it's had mountains and valleys. Talk about how you've seen this season progress with this group.
Yeah. Well, we've talked to them about being bipolar, not in personality, but on the field, because we have had just some stellar games. As I was even looking back through some things today and thinking of some weekends where we were just playing like a championship team. And then we've had some other weekends where it's like we can't put anything together. And so a big gap between our best and our worst. And so, we do have some young people who have contributed a lot. And I think that the experiences that they've gained this year will help us going forward. We know that going into this weekend, that having that experience and knowing our tendencies, that we need to bring all of those pieces together. When our pitching's on, we've got to have our defense behind them. We've got to score a bunch of runs at the same time. And kind of this year, there's been examples of where they didn't match up. We need to have all three going.
You referenced it a little bit. You have new starter at shortstop, new starting pitcher, new starter in center field. Mm-hmm. Even though she had played last year, she moved over.
Sure.
Freshman in left field. So going into the season, you knew you had pieces, but you had no idea how they were all going to come together.
Right.
So in hindsight now, at the end of the regular season, a third-place finish in a very tough conference, is that pretty satisfying?
Yeah, it is, and it's even good to hear you ask questions like that, because it reminds us as coaches, as we project what we think the season might turn out to be, we talk about all of that stuff. What happens a little bit as we get into the year and we see the capabilities, the potential of some of these kids, and then maybe when a freshman nerve kicks in or something like that, our expectations are so high that we forget that at the beginning of the year we said, hey, you know what would be successful for us is if we were able to do this. I think we've done as much as what we would have projected would have been successful for us at the beginning of the year. For us to have really 3 freshmen that have come in and been key contributors to us is huge, I think. For Michelle Silva to have the year that she's been having, some really bright moments that should be exciting for next year and even the years to come. So,
going into this conference tournament, we're 2-10 against the 3 other teams. Mm-hmm. Make the case why we have a chance to win this thing.
Yeah, I think we're going in as the underdogs. We have the worst record of the 4 teams, even though we finished in 3rd. Amongst those 4 teams, we've not had as many wins as even what Pacific has had. I think that our defense, during those bright moments that we've had this year, I think that our infield is the best infield, talent-wise and potential-wise, of any infield in the conference. We've just had some snowballs. So I think that if we don't have those snowballs, we have the best defense in the tournament. I think we have a multi-dimensional offense. So where some of the offenses in the conference are really kind of one-dimensional and they go for the long ball and things like that, we have the speed, we have the power, we have the consistency. Our offensive stats this year right now are actually in a lot of categories better than they were last year, better than the team that was the best team ever in Whitworth softball history. So that's a bright side. And then having Madeline somewhat rested, not throwing as many innings the last half of conference, and having Ashley and Kaylee both with significant experience, and having Madeline be successful against some of those teams, and having the other 2, even Ashley and Kaylee, showing brightly against like a Linfield. I think we have 3 pitchers that can help us. So.